Hey everyone! As I grow my business, it's really important for me to be authentic. And doing so means sharing things that are also a bit vulnerable and scary for me to share, because I do want you to know how much I'm doing this work right here with you. Coaching is something that for me is going to be a never-ending process. There's always going to be room for me to grow and to develop, and as I do the work, I'm better able to serve you and my clients along the way. This is a story about how an inspiring event turned out to just bring up all of my insecurities. I'll also share what I did about it, so we'll get there. The event that I am speaking about was a women's entrepreneurial conference out in LA. I went for the weekend, and there were just 2 full days full of business strategy and process tools and mindset tools, so that way as you grow your business, you're doing it holistically and in a way that sets you up for success. Multiple times during the weekend, we talked about setting goals and our limiting beliefs when we do that. This is something I work with my clients on all the time. Now, as they asked me to set a goal, I wrote down what I wanted to complete for next year, and I feel like my goal is already a stretch. I've got big dreams for what's coming in 2020. And as soon as we wrote down our goals, they said, great, double it. Make it bigger. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, all right, yeah, okay. And what happened was, I'm surrounded by all of these incredible women who already have businesses. They're at different points, but everyone there is just working on these incredible projects. And I start comparing. I start listening to my inner critic who is telling me, doubling your goal? Not possible. No way. And I start the insecurities just flooded out of me. And it was such an opposite reaction to what I'm sure they intended to do, which is really inspire and uplift. But I'm there almost in tears. So why, here's what was coming up for me. I was realizing that being told that people believe in me and they really appreciate what I do was great, but I wasn't giving myself that same recognition. I wasn't believing in myself to the same extent, and that's why it felt so scary, because I was like, oh man, I can't do that. My inner critic was just loud and in charge. When I got home, my boyfriend asked how I went. I'm like, and started crying. But this was really great because I was aware enough to see that my inner critic was kind of running the show here, and I brought it to my own coach. We together worked on what some of those underlying fears were. Now, this is why I love coaching, because we might be in the middle of experiencing something that feels really difficult. We might think we know what's going on, but having that third-party perspective ask a few more questions or point out the things that are themes in what we're saying, but we can't somehow see ourselves. It was really helpful to see that my fear of failure was back at full capacity. And this is one I've had around with me for so long. It's something a lot of my clients deal with. I'm right there with you. So what am I doing now to help combat that fear of failure? Every day, without fail, I am journaling on why I'm doing this to begin with. I'm really focusing on the impact that I want to have and the people that I want to help. I'm also taking time for self-care. So lately, in the past few months, I've noticed that my morning routine has gotten a little wobbly, but I know that spending time for myself in the morning and getting into a good mindset really sets me up for the rest of the day better. And I'm also putting into practice these tools that I've learned, because there are some really great things to consider: how to prioritize, how to break down our goals. And so instead of letting the overwhelm with all of the information I learned just wash over me, I'm putting it into practice, and it's making me feel like, okay, all right, I know what's coming up now. I can see the next few months and quarters and plan next year. Yeah, all right. So that is how this inspiring event led to my insecurities. But by seeing my insecurities, I was able to actually take more action than I could have without it. This is why the growth mindset is so helpful to me. It is one of my core values to constantly be learning and looking for the opportunities that present themselves. If this video resonates with you, I would love to chat. I offer free 30-minute discovery calls with anyone to see if coaching is something that could benefit you. If you're running into something similar with these insecurities and these fears coming up, reach out, let me know. I also have a meditation to quiet that inner critic, which yes, I listen to my own meditation often. It is brilliant. And I would love for you to check it out. It's going to help. I just know it will. All right, everybody, that's it for today. I'll talk to you soon.